Look at that chart. Just look at it. For the first 2 weeks of July 2025, Cardano has been on an absolute tear, ripping higher by over 44% and leaving the bears in total disbelief. But what if I told you this insane rally isn't the real story? What if I told you this is just the appetizer and the main course is something so fundamentally bullish it secures Cardano's future for the next decade? Because today, the curtain has been pulled back. We finally know the secret. We finally know the size of the Cardano war chest. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Daily Crypto Market, the channel where we give you the data-driven analysis to navigate these wild markets. I'm your host, and today we are covering the bombshell report that is acting as rocket fuel for ADA. We're going to talk about hundreds of millions of dollars, a bullish fractal pointing to a new all-time high, and exactly what this means for the price of Cardano moving forward. The main question we have to answer is this. With the Cardano Foundation revealing a massive treasury, is this 44% pump sustainable? And could it be the start of the final push to a new all-time high? Here is our exact game plan. First, we're going to do a deep dive into what this catalyst actually is. We're talking about the jaw-dropping numbers from the Cardano Foundation's new report. Then we'll look at the bear case because in crypto, you always have to understand the risks. After that, we'll cover the bull case, which includes a fascinating fractal pattern, and we'll look at the charts to see what the technicals are telling us. And finally, the moment you've been waiting for, I'll give you my exact price prediction for ADA, my short-term target, and my ambitious moonshot target for the end of 2025. You need to see this. This changes the entire conversation around Cardano. Let's get into it. Part 1, the catalyst deep dive. All right, let's get straight to the headline news, the catalyst that is underpinning this entire rally. A new report highlighted by FX Street has revealed the sheer scale of the Cardano Foundation's financial holdings. This is the ultimate show me the money moment. According to the report dated just yesterday, July 14, 2025, the Cardano Foundation has officially reported holdings of $660 million. Let that number sink in for a minute. Over $500 million. This isn't just ADA either. The report states these holdings are a diversified mix of Cardano, ADA, Bitcoin, BTC, and cold hard cash. Why is this so profoundly significant? This is a war chest. It's a statement of absolute power and long-term viability in a market known for its brutal cycles. Let's break down the implications. First, this guarantees long-term financial stability. The foundation now has the resources to fund development, operations, and marketing for years, if not decades to come, regardless of whether we are in a bull or bear market. This insulates Cardano's core development from market volatility, which is an advantage that very few other projects have. Second, it ensures unstoppable development. A key article from Traders Union this week discussed Cardano's future tech. Well, this is how that future gets built. With $660 million on hand, the foundation can aggressively fund the research and development needed to execute its roadmap, ensuring Cardano remains on the cutting edge of blockchain technology. Third, it means massive ecosystem growth. This treasury isn't just for internal operations. It's used to fund Project Catalyst, provide grants to developers building new applications, and attract the best and brightest talent to the Cardano ecosystem. This is how you bootstrap a vibrant, decentralized economy. And finally, it's about trust and transparency. By publishing this report, the Cardano Foundation is sending a clear message of confidence and openness to its community and to the wider institutional world. It shows professional management and a clear vision. In a post-FTX world, this kind of transparency is worth its weight in gold. This isn't just a number on a balance sheet. It is the fundamental firepower behind the 44% rally we're seeing right now. Part 2, the bear case. But we have to be objective. This is incredible news, but it does not erase all risks. We have to put on our devil's advocate hat and consider what could go wrong. First, a massive treasury is a massive target. It raises the question of centralization and governance. Who decides how that $660 million gets spent? While the foundation has a clear mission, a concentration of this much wealth in a single entity can be seen as a centralizing force in a supposedly decentralized ecosystem. There's always the risk of mismanagement or that the funds could be used in ways the community disagrees with. Second, we have to consider the market dynamics. Could this be a sell the news event? It's possible that sophisticated investors and insiders have been anticipating this positive report for weeks. Now that the good news is public, it could mark a local top where they decide to take profits off the table, putting downward pressure on the price and trapping retail buyers who are just now FOMOing in. Third, there is always execution risk. It's one thing to have a war chest, it's another thing to deploy it effectively. Will the foundation's investments and grants generate a positive return for the ecosystem, or will it be spent inefficiently? The success of this catalyst depends entirely on the strategic execution of the Foundation's leadership over the coming years. And finally, the risk that never sleeps. Bitcoin. We are in July 2025 and the market is hot, but if Bitcoin decides to have a major correction, it will create a tidal wave that pulls everything down with it. The Cardano war chest can fund development, but it can't defy a market-wide panic. Part 3, the bull case. However, while we must acknowledge those risks, I believe they are overwhelmingly overshadowed by the sheer bullish force of this news, especially when combined with what the charts are telling us. Let's first address the centralization concern. This is where Cardano's long-term vision becomes its greatest defense. We are deep in the Voltaire era of Cardano's roadmap. This entire phase is about transferring power to the community through advanced on-chain governance, decentralized treasury management, and voting. That $660 million war chest is systematically becoming decentralized, controlled not by a handful of executives, but by every ADA holder. This turns a potential risk into an unprecedented strength, a community-controlled $500 million venture fund. Now let's connect this fundamental catalyst to the technicals. This is where it gets truly exciting. A stunning analysis from Brave New Coin this week identified a bullish fractal on the Cardano chart. A fractal is a recurring geometric pattern that repeats across different timescales. In this case, analysts have found that the current price action, the consolidation, the breakout, and the surge in volume is mirroring a pattern from a previous cycle that preceded a massive parabolic rally to a new all-time high. This is the perfect marriage of fundamentals and technicals. The Treasury report is the why. It's the fundamental fuel. The bullish fractal is the how. It's the historical roadmap showing us where the price could be headed. It suggests that this 44% rally isn't the end, it's the very beginning of the next major leg up. Part 4, technical analysis. Okay, that's the big picture. Let's get granular and pull up the ADA USD chart on the daily and weekly timeframes to see what's happening right now on July 15th, 2025. After its explosive 44% surge this month, ADA is currently battling resistance right around the $0.98 to $1.00 level. This is our key psychological battleground. Let's get our levels straight. Support levels. Our first line of support is around $0.85. This was a previous resistance level, and a successful retest here would be incredibly bullish confirmation. Below that, we have a stronger support zone at $0.78. This aligns with the key Fibonacci retracement level from the recent move up. Our ultimate line in the sand is around $0.65, the breakout point of this July rally. Holding above this is critical to maintaining bullish market structure. Resistance levels. The immediate massive resistance is right here, right now, $1.00. Breaking and closing decisively above $1 will trigger a new wave of buying and media attention. Our next major target, according to Analytics Insight, is $2.00. This is a realistic medium-term goal for the second half of 2025. The ultimate resistance, of course, is the previous all-time high of around $3.10. The bullish fractal suggests this level is in play. Now, let's look at the moving averages. The chart is a picture of health, but price is trading comfortably above both the 50-day and 200-day exponential moving averages. The daily golden cross, where the 50 crosses above the 200, is firmly locked in and the moving averages are spreading apart, indicating strengthening momentum. And finally, the chart pattern. We're not just looking at a simple trend line. We are tracking this powerful bullish fractal. This means we are constantly comparing the current price structure, volume profile, and momentum oscillators to the historical pattern. So far, the correlation is stunningly high. The pattern implies that after a brief consolidation around the $1 mark, the next phase is a rapid, explosive expansion to the upside. Part 5, price prediction and conclusion. So let's put it all together. We have the stunning fundamental catalyst of the Cardano Foundation, revealing a $660 million war chest which secures its future. We must be cautious of the risks of centralization, but this is mitigated by the ongoing transition to on-chain governance. And most importantly, the charts are screaming bullish, with a historical fractal suggesting that what we're seeing now is just a prelude to a new all-time high rally. With all of this information, here's my clear justified price prediction for Cardano. My conservative short-term target for the next 1 to 2 weeks is a decisive break of $1.00, pushing to $1.18. I believe the momentum from the Treasury news is more than enough to smash through this psychological barrier and test the next minor resistance zone. Now, for my ambitious moonshot target for the end of 2025, this is based on the bullish fractal playing out as it did historically. If the pattern continues to hold true, a move to the $2 target mentioned by analysts is just a stepping stone. The real target is a retest and eventual break of the all-time high. Therefore, my ambitious target for the next 3 to 6 months is $3.25. I believe the combination of a fully funded development machine and a historically proven chart pattern makes a new all-time high by the end of this year not just possible but probable. The game has changed. Cardano is no longer just a project with potential, it's a fully funded financial and technological powerhouse. The question is no longer if, but how high. And now I have to turn it over to you. Do you believe this bullish fractal will play out? What is your realistic end of 2025 price target for Cardano? Let me know in the comments below. That is all the time we have for today. If you appreciate this data-driven approach, the single best way to support the channel is to hit that like button. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next critical update.